I'm Bookkeeper, and I'll be playing the Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, the Avalon Scholar.
I'm Clara Allison, and I'm playing Lucia Di Felici, the Vodace Strega.
Hi, I'm Glamour. I'm playing Viviana Lucani, the Vodace courtesan and daughter of Sophia.
Hi, I'm Overthinker. I'm playing Alonso Hernandez, the Castellan swordsman on a quest.
Hello, my name is Typhoon, and I will be playing Heinrich von Groth, the Isen war veteran.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening.
Previously on Opus the Requiem. After their harrowing evening, Alonso, Viviana, and Heinrich wait for their missing companions to be released from jail. A letter is even written and dispatched to the Grand Dame for aid. Alexander and I awoke in our cell after an evening of philosophy and discussed Henri's whereabouts as well as his possible escape from Le Donjon. Meanwhile, Alonso and Heinrich go to the local Swordsman's Guild chapter house to report the attack from the previous night. Alonso tries to draw the man, but it seems unlikely their efforts will do much good with how populated the city is for L'Emperor's birthday. Finally, Alexander and I are freed by none other than Monsieur Jean-Marie. Beyond facilitating our release, he was entirely unhelpful in aiding our search for Henri himself. Still, freedom restored and properly chastised, we returned to the university, where we discussed what Alexander and I found at the inn and the mysterious music that we had all been hearing. Obviously, inspired by Alexander's scientific mind, I decided to try and replay the music that had been eluding us since we arrived in Charuz. At once, everyone was seized with heart-achingly bittersweet memories and could do nothing but remain enraptured until I finished playing. Unfortunately, I could not share in whatever discoveries the music had given us, as I was too busy fainting to do more inquiry. I should be more prepared for this next time.
You all have come out of your fugues in time to see Lucia waver and fall. Alexander's violin clatters to the floor beside her, leaving you all standing in this research room at the university with an unconscious Vodachan and unsure entirely what happened, because none of you were really thinking about the parts of your lives that came up or that came to mind when you were hearing the music. And now that you stand there, you realize that none of you can remember what the music sounded like, just how it made you feel and where your mind went when it happened.
I think as Viviana comes out of this trance and sees Lucia collapsed on the floor, her immediate reaction is to run over to her. She doesn't touch her, doesn't shake her, but she does, like she almost wants to, but she stops herself. She stays at Lucia's side, perhaps cradling her head, but gives room for Alexander to work. And she looks over at Alexander expectantly.
Doctor, what's wrong? What's wrong with her? What happened?
One moment, please. And yeah, gonna check her pulse. I presume her eyes are closed at the moment. I might pop one open to see if it's rolling back, that sort of thing.
They are indeed closed. Make me... well, I will say that when you check her eyes, they are rolled back. Make me a... I am sure that you have the doctor skill. Ah, there it is. Make me a wits and diagnosis check, please.
Difficulty.
15 will get you basic information. every raise above that will get you a little bit more.
I will take 2 raises.
All right, so we're going for 25.
28.
And you roll a 28. Well done. Okay, so the first thing you are sure of is that she does not seem to be in any danger of like immediate impending death. She's breathing normally. Her heart isn't racing. And like she doesn't have a fever or anything. The second thing that you recognize is that it is almost like people that you have seen who like had a fit, had a seizure, and didn't wake up immediately afterwards. Like her eyes are still rolled back. Her body isn't really stiff, but isn't as loose as someone who's just sleeping, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Tilting her head forward, is her nose still bleeding?
A little bit. It seems like it is tapering off as like the seconds go by, which is what I was going to get to next. So.
Hold her head forward just for a little bit, and just hold this kerchief just over her lips.
Yes, of course.
Pulse is steady.
I would like Heinrich, make me a wits and perception check.
Okay.
Alonso, I would like you to roll great wits roll. Both of you, your target number is 15.
So I don't have a great chance of success, but I would like to take 2 raises on the basis that Alonso is dead to the world. And if he snaps out of it, it's because it's something really important that he's noticed. Does that sound fair?
I mean, sure, you could call for however many raises you want. You've
Cool.
only got what, 2 dice, so
3. I have 3. Shooting for 25, got a 17. Yeah. He's fairly internal right now.
okay. Then neither of you notice anything unless somebody wants to roll add drama dice. You guys are just Alonso is kind of caught up in his own thoughts, replaying that kind of maudlin moment in his mind over and over again, like he's watching what's happening but not really seeing. And Heinrich is hyper focused on the image of young Lucia unconscious on the floor, as if somebody struck her a blow.
Totally.
Yeah, he looks pretty anxious, which is rare for him.
Totally. Is she going to be all right?
I believe so. Her symptoms are similar to that of a disease called epilepsy. The Newmans believed that it was sacred, possibly connected to being touched by the gods. I don't think this is quite that, but the symptoms are similar, and there isn't anything particularly serious. Herr von Groth, if you would help me get her onto the bed, we need to lay her on her side and keep the handkerchief there so that the nosebleed won't flow backwards. But,
Of course. And Heinrich will pick her up and carry her to the bed.
Be gentle.
Of course.
As this is happening, and Heinrich lifts her, I'm not going to make you roll for anything. She is small, you are large. It's not hard. As that happens, and Alexander, do you follow them, or are you just watching?
I follow.
Okay. As you follow, you're kind of like forced to step over the things that fell when Lucia fell. And you leave Viviana kneeling in the middle of the floor. And Viviana, you realize that you've got like the discarded violin, you've got the violin bow, you've also got like all of the sheet music is spread out around you because it had been like set up, and when she fell, it got like knocked off the table that she'd had it on.
Viviana will probably just distractedly begin gathering the sheet music together so she has something to do with her hands.
Okay. Will you make me a wits plus just a straight wits roll, DC or target number 15.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. All right. You go to clean up the mess and don't really pay much attention to like the what order the pages are going in. They're not really numbered anyway, so it would be hard for you to keep track of them as somebody who doesn't read music. And you tuck them away, probably back into her journal, and put it up on the table. Heinrich is able to get her settled onto the bed. No problem. Heinrich, she does feel a little weird in your arms. Like you have like carried your youngest when she was asleep. And like sleeping people are usually like really loose dead weight. She's dead weight, but she doesn't, she feels almost like her muscles are tensed just a little, because there is not nearly as much like free movement as you would expect from somebody who's asleep.
Doctor, her muscles seem tense. It's not like she's sleeping.
That's part of what makes me recall the idea of seizures. Seizures are usually the tension comes and it goes, but there are ways to attempt to ameliorate that. And he will draw back his blankets and cover her up.
Okay.
We try and keep her warm. All right. Unfortunately, we have done almost all we can for her. I'd like to wait for about an hour to see if her circumstances change.
There's no medicine that you can use?
In half an hour, if her nosebleed has stopped, I can try some smelling salts to see if that rouses her.
With your overall medical knowledge, just giving her something without knowing what's going on, like the smelling salts would be harmless, but just giving her something without knowing what you're dealing with could be more dangerous than just letting her work through it.
But at the moment, I don't know what's causing it, and without knowing the cause, I cannot prescribe a course of treatment. I can only try to ameliorate the symptoms.
Heinrich will pull up one of the chairs and sit down next to the bed.
Now, are they in a separate room?
I had been presuming that Alexander's room was more like even after he was moved, it's probably just a more spacious cell, or it's a single room than a.
So you guys, most of your meetings have happened in basically a research room because you always needed like a table to work at, or to sit and eat at, and most of the rooms don't have that kind of space. But your room is next to this, next to the research room. So basically, Heinrich would have carried her from the research room into your room. So Alonso and Viviana are in the other room. Are in the research room, while Heinrich and Alexander are in Alexander's chamber.
Von Groth, if you will be watching overhead, there's something I wish to investigate while time provides itself. Just make sure she stays on her side. If she starts to move at all, please call out and come get me.
Yeah, if anything changes, I'll shout for you.
Alexander.
Yep.
Roll me wits and we'll go wits and diagnosis again.
Okay.
Target number 15.
I don't know what this is for, so I don't know whether to take raises or not.
You don't need to take raises. This is is literally just if you can't beat a 15, you don't notice something. Okay, you're fine.
I beat a 15.
You finally turn away from your charge from the young woman that you have been like puzzling over her state, and you turn to Heinrich, and you really get a good look at him for the first time since all of this happened. Mm-hmm. Take a moment to actually like survey him. There is blood on the side of his cheeks, like along his jaw, coming from both of his ears.
Groth?
Yes.
I need you to hold still for a moment. I look into his ears for a moment. Now, there is something important to check for when people are bleeding from their ears, whether or not it is mixed with any sort of clear fluid or diluted in some way.
It's just blood.
Okay.
Doesn't look like he's got a ruptured eardrum or anything like that, if that's what you're worrying about.
No, it's
and it's not much, and it doesn't look like it's actively happening now. It looks like his ears bled, and now there's just blood on his face.
I poke my own ear and look.
You also have blood coming that at least came from your ears.
I'll pull out my handkerchief. We appear to have bled from our ears.
Heinrich wipes his ears and said, if the young lady wasn't in such dire straits, someone would be making jokes about the quality of her musical talent.
After putting away the sheet music and just kind of absent-mindedly going about tidying up the room, Viviana will probably wander into the space where Heinrich and the doctor are and pull up a chair of her own to be by the head of the bed where Lucia's head is. I
won't call for another roll, Heinrich and Alexander, because you now know what you know to look for it. There is also blood on the sides of Viviana's head.
I'll offer her one of my spare handkerchiefs. Signorina, we appear to have had a small reaction to the music ourselves. You want to clean your ears.
Thank you, Dottore. Viviana looks probably smaller than she's ever looked, because she is usually a force for beauty and personality, and here she just seems curled in on herself as she accepts the handkerchief.
Does she go to wipe her face, or is she just holding the handkerchief?
She does wipe her ears.
Okay. I believe Alexander said he wanted to investigate something. Yes?
Yes. Alexander will go back into the other room. Senor Hernandez, are you all right?
As he returns to the room, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
Is it a warm day?
So. It's not hot, not cold.
So there wouldn't necessarily be a fire going?
Not right now. It's the middle of the day, so no.
Cool. So Alonso's just holding the closed thing of pages, staring at it.
You picked up the book? You picked up her journal?
No, the musical pages.
They were all tucked back into her. They were tucked into her journal when Viviana picked them up.
Then yes.
Okay.
Senor Hernandez, I'm going to need those.
Indeed. Why?
Well, there's a code in them.
There's a curse in them.
Oh, no. That is not. That sheet music is not what she was playing. That much I
Forgive
can
me,
state.
she was...
That much I can state with some certainty.
Above the table, real quick. The sheet music she was playing fell and then was picked up, right?
Yes, but it's also on other pages of other sheet music that they collected from the murder scene. Is what he's
Gotcha.
getting at.
Okay.
There's multiple songs on these pages,
Okay.
or amongst these pages.
Cool. You're saying that studying this material, which is just done that. Is that what you're saying?
I had begun to study that material yesterday evening before we were arrested, and it did not have any deleterious effect on my mind, if that is what you are concerned about. No, there's just some sort of cipher mixed into the music. It's not even magical, it's just really mathematics.
And that?
That was something else entirely. I don't know what it is.
Would it be safe to call it sorcery?
Not of any kind I'm familiar with, but it's certainly supernatural.
There's a longer way to say yes. Doctor, I do not want that to happen again.
Nor do I. But we can neither prevent it from happening again, nor discover what has happened if we stand still in ignorance.
But if this is the source, he holds it up, if this is the source, its destruction would prevent anyone from playing it again. A simple solution, sometimes the best one. Yes?
No, almost never. But I put it to you this way. We all heard that music before any of it was written down. Thus, destroying what has been written down does not guarantee you will not hear it again.
You think that this is connected? You think this is connected to our the strange sound in the back of our minds? I
absolutely do. And I believe that is connected to a Strega telling me through a spider that can send messages that we were all in danger. Something is tying all of us together, and I should not be surprised when Lucia wakes up if she does not see a golden fate thread weaving through us all, as she had described it.
At its best, Castile was often a land of science. I do not reject the need to understand a problem in order to solve it. This is a problem. And while I think we should proceed with great caution, I think also that you and I need to have an understanding about how much understanding is correct and when it moves too far and we begin to know things that no man should know. Do you understand me?
I understand your position, yes.
And can we agree on this? That what we learn should be reviewed with a sense of doubt and an understanding that it is almost certainly dangerous.
It is rarely knowledge that is dangerous, it is its application. But skepticism is always healthy.
Very well. I ask to be involved in this study so much as I can understand.
How are your sums?
Competent.
Visiten.
And I hand him the book.
Okay. Alexander.
Yes.
Before we get to the thing that you were going to do, the first thing you have to deal with is the fact that when Lucia fell and all of that sheet music kind of went scattering, it all got really out of order. Yep. So first you're going to have to sort out all the paper and figure out which sheets go to which song. Because right. Lucia was trying to write down what the song that did this to her.
Right.
And then there was also the music that you guys nabbed from the crime scene.
Now, if I recall, we only have like maybe 3 or 4 measures of the brain-breaking tune.
Correct.
So that's probably fairly easy to figure out which one that is.
Yes, I was getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like you to roll me a wits, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm going to have you roll. I'm going to give you the dice total because I don't want to give something away. I want you to roll me 6, keep 4.
Okay.
Target number 20. For the base noticing, raises might get you more information.
I will take 1 raise.
Okay.
And I've asked to be a part of this. Can I roll a thing too?
You don't have the thing that he's doing and haven't interacted with some other stuff that feed into it, so no.
Gotcha.
This is separate. You're still going to get to roll for the other thing that you guys were talking about. This is its own thing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So that's 36.
Excellent. Alexander, as you are like figuring out which pages are which and making sure that you put things back in order, you pause and look at the page that Lucia had started to scratch out this unusual melody that's been stuck in everybody's head on, and you realize something about some of the notes, about a number of the notes, actually. You have seen dots on paper like this before, but it wasn't music.
What was it?
You have a moment where you pause and you stare at it. And you're like, why does that look so damn familiar? And then you realize that you came to Charus for a reason and only really got to spend like a few hours on that reason.
Yeah. So he looks at it for a moment. He sort of turns the sheet music to the side, which is weird because he just turns his head to the side at the same time.
The notes, you imagine that if you were to draw out the like the oval shapes at the end of each note, without the bars behind them and without the staves connected to them, they would look an awful lot like the star map that you found.
He, without explaining, rises from the desk, goes back to his room, grabs his own portfolio, comes back, throws it open, and flips through several sheets of rather crudely drawn. They look like they just look like pictures of dots, really, scattered dots on pages. He moves. Some of them have some math sketched in places that he's flipping through, looking. Where is it? Where? And he pulls out one sheet and he slaps it down next to it.
Yeah. It takes a minute, and because it is on sheet music, it is much smaller. But it's like a miniaturized version of the star map in some places. There's a lot missing, obviously, because you only have a few things, but you could see a lot of the same shapes repeated in this line.
He cannot
Like somebody
help.
took pieces of the star map and lined them up along the line.
He cannot help but smile just a little. The music of the spheres, indeed.
The spheres. Is
Stars. This is a star chart that I copied down.
So someone has hidden a star chart in sheet music.
Well, not in this sheet music, he says, touching the stuff that the Strega wrote. In the tune we're all hearing.
A star chart encoded in a curse placed upon us. Directions, perhaps, for a ship?
Possibly. And then he gets this sort of 1,000-yard stare as he says, possibly, for the third time. He shakes it off.
Ominous. Thank you.
That is potentially useful information, but not what we were going to work on. He sets it all aside for a moment and brings out the sheet music that Adriana had been writing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and he will lay out for Alonso some of the same things he showed Lucia, showing the repetitive patterns and talking about the relationship between math and music. Music was once described by a scholar more prodigious than myself as the way in which mathematics expresses beauty.
I have heard it said before.
Well, in this case, it's the fact that mathematics can express things can be turned to other purposes. So I think there's a message hidden in here. Hopefully not a star chart that will make our ears bleed, but I doubt that. Surely it wouldn't happen a second time. He says, almost to reassure himself.
Yeah, Alonso raises an eyebrow. Surely. I mean, if you've done such a thing once, why would you do it again?
The thing is, I don't think this poor woman did this. She was aware of it, but I don't think she did. I don't think she is the cause of what we are hearing.
What do you think? Never mind. It would be conjecture, I'm sure.
100%. I lack sufficient evidence to even begin to hypothesize.
Do the math then.
Shall we?
Here's my question.
Yep.
Are you guys doing this in the study room, or are you taking all this back to Alexander's chambers?
I feel like study room, but I'll follow Alexander.
Yeah. He lays it all out, and he looks back at the little set of star chart notes and his own star charts, and he thinks about this room doesn't have a lock on it. Sometimes other people walk in. He goes, let us retreat to my desk. I think.
Cool.
All right.
I'll help carry stuff in. And then...
Cool. First things first. Alexander, you know a lot about a lot.
Yep.
And there's a lot on your sheet. Is there anything that you have that is specifically dedicated to code breaking? Or are we going to try and brute force this with math?
Well, no, but the Society of Scholarly Individuals I belong to does, in fact, have both a math code and a music code. The math code uses the mathematics skill, and the music code uses composer.
Okay. given that, what I will tell you, without you guys having to roll, because this is mostly just a pure, like, this is what Alexander knows. This is not either of those codes.
Okay.
You may be able to crack it if you and Alonso work at it for a while, put your heads together and try to puzzle it out.
Right.
But it's probably not going to be easy, and it's not going to be fast.
Right.
Because it's not a code you're familiar with.
Certainly, I will spend the hour we were going to wait to see if Lucia gets any better.
Okay.
Working on it.
All right. In that case, you both have music, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have composer, though. You just have music guitar.
Yep.
All right. We'll start with math because it's something that you both have. So I would like you both to roll me wits and mathematics, please. Target number... Target number 25, if you are rolling on your own. If Alonso would like to, you can roll at a target number 15 to give Alexander an extra unkept die.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you roll for target number 15 first. What's plus mathematics? Very good.
Should have gone for it. Holy shit.
Alexander, you now have an additional unkept die, and I would like you to roll me what's plus mathematics, please.
Okay. It's target number 25.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 raises.
Okay. Jesus Christ. What happened?
Should have taken more raises.
Just all 4 of your kept dice rolled 10?
I'm going to re-roll my 4 10s.
Jesus Christ.
And come off with a 70.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I'd have hit a 33. 31.
So much for this
41.
isn't going to be fast.
The single highest roll so far in the campaign.
Like, I know technically rules as written, I only have to honor up to the raises that you took, but I feel like I need to honor the fact that you rolled a fucking 70.
Thank you. I'll take 1 plot, please.
First, I want to say, if I can, I think Alonso sits down, and as the Reverend Doctor is getting to work, you're like, I'll need that. And I'm like, yep. And you're okay. And then, yep. And you quickly realize Alonso's math skills are okay, but in the second chair position, supporting everything you need, he is on fire.
And I would like to offer up something before I drop a monologue token on Alonso. One of the secret discoveries of the Invisible College that he is probably breaking out because it is the measure of change is Alonso is seeing integral calculus for the first time.
Oh. Okay.
You math.
I will allow that because Alonso rolled very well.
And then I will spend my monologue token on to make Alonso talk about math.
Put me at a disadvantage, sir, because I do not know all that much about math.
Then talk about education. How it's important, why it's important, what's going on in Alonso's mind.
Mm-hmm. He's running figures. He's making notes. This is this. This is this. Let's create a unified thing. And this is information. This is the thing we're going to need later. And he slips back into a younger version. It's like, I am I was good at this. I could have been very good at this. Perhaps in another time, in another life, this could have... Oh, that's interesting. It's always interesting. And to discover these things, to understand something you did not understand before. This is what it used to be. This is what we used to love. This is what we used to care about. The world has changed, and I change with it. The new age is upon us, and with it, can it truly be that this understanding, that this knowledge is what we are opposed to? How can it? How can this feeling be evil? I concede nothing in this moment. But as I said to the Reverend Doctor, I shall approach with greater skepticism. And then does some more.
Love it. As you guys work, and Alexander, you begin to write out things as you manage to break the code and things become more clear. The first thing you realize is that this is a letter, or more specifically is almost like a report. You have written things like this for the college. You've written things like this for the college in order to pass along information that you have gotten on things that are sensitive,
right?
Like the star chart. It's just that her particular code is she sends sheet music because nobody really looks twice at sheet music.
That's exactly what I did with my dude when I did my initial report.
Exactly.
He got a set of sheet music to send back to the college.
Exactly. A lot of what is in, so I'm going to give you some bullet points. There's a lot more to the letter, but these are the things that actually make sense to you. Most of the rest of it is like, it's information, but because you don't have the context for it, it doesn't really stand out to you. Does that make sense? So these are the three big points. The artifacts were intercepted, but one was able to be smuggled away by one of our agents. Her last expected contact was nearly a month ago, but she did not show up. Word arrived 2 days ago that a body we believe may have been hers was left hanging in a small town. She was beaten so badly, though, that we cannot be certain of her identity. And I have identified agents in the city who have taken an interest in an unusual group here. I don't know how many agents there are, just that people are already turning up dead, and they seem intent on two in the group. There are 3 men, 2 women, 2 swordsmen, an academic, a courtesan, and a strega. I will send word when I have more.
And so in short order, what happens is there's a lot of arithmetic, and Alonso and Alexander complete each other's calculations. And slowly but surely, as the math gets written out, the math starts to turn into, I'm presuming this is in Vodace?
It is in a mixture, but mostly Vodace, yes.
Some of the numbers start to turn into words underneath the lines of math. This woman has had quite an adventure and was apparently preparing to report on it. there's some reference to artifacts which were intercepted, but one was smuggled away by someone on her side. She was expecting to meet with someone a month ago, but that person did not show up. And then, some 2 days before this was written, a body was found that may have been her contact.
Hung and badly beaten.
Yes. And so badly beaten that they're not certain of her identity. And then it finishes by talking a bit about us.
Alonso.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay, I won't make you roll then.
That is a month ago. And beyond recognition.
That means something to you?
Perhaps. It is about the time that I left Castile.
You have encountered a female who was hung and beaten?
I wish that I could say that I had not. It is, forgive me. Could we perhaps have a drink or something before discussing among our group?
Yes, of course. Alexander will get a bottle of wine and pour everyone a glass. Figure we could all use one anyway.
First, it seems these agents in the city.
Oh, did you come to get the two of us?
They're in the bedroom. This all happened in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, for like over an hour, probably closer to 2 hours, because Alexander got on a roll. They were like heads down and working, and you could hear them kind of quietly talking to one another occasionally, and like papers were getting written on, and then one of them would be like, no, that's not it, and they'd crumple something up and like throw it into like the currently empty fireplace. But eventually Alexander's head comes up and he like talks about the things that they found in the report.
So you have deciphered all of this from sheet music.
Yes, it's a code.
Was this the music that produced?
No.
It was the other music.
Indeed.
Yes.
We are treating that one more carefully.
That is this over here, which has its own properties, which we'll get to.
And should soon have a lock upon it, I believe.
And what did this mysterious code reveal?
As I said, we have some artifacts which were intercepted. One was smuggled away. My mind immediately goes, anyone who speaks secretly of artifacts is usually talking about something involving the Cyrn.
Oh. It's it.
But then this woman's contact did not show up a month ago, and then may have been discovered 2 days before this was written. However, she was so badly handled that the identification is questionable. And then,
to be clear, you don't think her body was discovered 2 days ago. You think that the woman, that the Strega found out about her body 2 days ago before this was written.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this our espionage-oriented composer took an interest in us. And in the people following us.
She refers to them as agents, but does not say for whom. Presumably, she composed this message and would have sent it but deployed the spider first and was discovered.
Do we know for sure that she was the author of the message, or could she have been the recipient?
That's an excellent question.
Indeed.
At this point, Viviana gets up, a hand lingering on Lucia's hand for a moment, and then she heads over to the workspace Alexander and Alonso have created, and her eyes just start scanning the sheet music and the notes I assume they've taken on it.
It's a lot of math. It doesn't look like they were, like, you could tell that they weren't working with any kind of cipher. Like because this is a code, they basically brute force the code rather than having the cipher to tell them how to, like, just break it down really quickly. That's why it took so long.
Impressive that you figured this out so quickly.
Yes, your mathematical ability certainly far exceeds my own. But this is interesting information, but I don't know that it's anything that we can act upon.
Not at the moment, especially since the point of contact from which this was received is gone.
It does mean that whoever... It tells us for certain that the individuals from the street and this Draga were opposed, acting at odds to one another. If our murder victim was involved in the smuggling of artifacts, who would oppose the smuggling of artifacts? Who would do so in secret?
Several answers to that question, none of which are comforting. But Herr von Graf makes a fine point. And while this adds context to our larger situation, it does not change what I believe our next step should be, which is to visit the estate of the House of Reins.
Indeed.
Heinrich,
Yes.
will you roll me just a raw wits roll, please?
Okay.
No target number, just roll it.
I am not particularly witty.
Apparently. Okay, cool. Continue.
So, what I propose is this. The Signorina clearly is not waking up. However, her color has not changed. I'm going to go over and I'm just going to check her limbs. Are they still, like, stiff? Like, under tension?
No, they have relaxed.
Okay, excellent. Keeping her warm has allowed her body to relax some. So I think perhaps we leave her a note stating we have stepped out to handle some matters. Maybe not tell her where we're going so she doesn't come running after us. Should she wake up?
I have some concerns about this. These agents, we know for a fact that they are deliberately looking for her. I would be quite concerned about leaving her here alone in an unconscious state. What if they manage to track us back to this location?
I was about to say as much. This location is not exactly secret.
It is not, but if we proceed forth in a non-secret fashion, hopefully we will draw their attention towards wherever we are headed, rather than wherever we have been.
Indeed, it says that they're interested in 2 members of our party, so perhaps they will follow the other, whoever that may be.
In the interest of ensuring that someone is watching her, I think I will pop over to the infirmary and ask one of the nurses to look in.
Or perhaps we could move her to a more secure location.
Do you have one?
Well, perhaps not move her. My manservant is reasonably capable with a weapon. He's not at his prime anymore, but he could be a capable guard.
I might then recommend that we bring him here. Rather, I believe she would be more vulnerable were we to try and move her. That would be very noticeable if they had eyes in the street.
Are you sure this manservant of yours is competent?
He's competent and trustworthy.
Okay.
A valuable combination.
He saved my life on several occasions.
Herr von Groth, would you like to fetch him directly, or would you like to send word and have him brought here?
I will fetch him.
Very well. Before I forget, I have something for you. And he goes into his portfolio, flips through, and goes to an envelope he has folded in a rather strange way, sort of to lock it. And on the front, it is addressed to Heinrich. This is for you. Just some thoughts I had written down. Perhaps on your walk there and back, you might consider them.
Okay, I will read them. Something that you can't simply tell me.
I find that once I have written something down, I am determined that the words I have chosen are the words I would use, and my memory is not so sharp as to recite it verbatim.
Perhaps it is the math jogging my memory, but the passing of a note reminds me. During the ambush, we acquired a note. None of us knew the language, but Reverend Doctor, perhaps you.
Yes, thank you for reminding me with everything that had happened that had slipped my mind. Doctor, can you make any sense of this? We were told it is an Avalon, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, here, let us trade then.
Heinrich, are you leaving now after you hand over the note, or are you going to wait and see if he can figure out the note first?
Assuming it won't involve hours more of decoding, he'll wait.
It's not very long. It probably won't take all that long, given how Alexander cracked the last. What you assume? You assume that this is a code because it is just fucking gibberish. You can hope that he could get through it. And it's not nearly as long as the sheet music, so probably he could do it pretty quickly.
Well, if you can make sense of this, I'll wait before returning home.
While we wait, Heinrich, there is something I need from you.
Yes?
I need you to help me see Sémø again.
Do you wish to engage in more verbal sparring with her?
Of a sort.
I can certainly assist with that, or you seem to have developed a rapport with Raoul as well.
Yes, but it is imperative that I see Sémø.
Very well. When I return home, I will send her a note requesting that she give you an audience.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Alexander, what you are holding in your hand is a small slip of paper. There are words in Avalonian, but they don't go together. They don't mean anything.
Okay, so they are words. They are not just like strings of letters.
Correct.
Okay.
This seems less like a replacement cipher and more like a word. Those words may have like words that correspond to them, or maybe there's specific things like specific words that need to be picked out from the ones that are on the paper, if that makes sense, and those might spell some sort of like a message.
If it is inclusion, I can probably figure it out. If it's a word substitution cipher, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Not without the key. It's too small.
So shall we? I don't actually know what taking a crack at it would look like in this situation.
Mostly looking at the repetition of particular letters, and to see if Avalon, any language based on its word usage has letters that appear more frequently. If the frequency distribution matches that of the language, then you have an indication it probably is in that language, and it's probably trying to say something coherent.
Sure. And before I forget, while we are making appointments, Lady Lucani, I believe your current what is the word? Your patron, the woman where we met.
Yes.
I was told to seek her out on. She may know more about anyone who might have tried to help a certain person leave the city.
Okay. I am not completely certain of the schedule of when she is in and out of the house, but I will try to make an introduction for you.
We have met, although she will likely remember me as the poor fellow who made fun of his friend William, so shrugs.
As I said, I will make an introduction for you.
Yeah, indeed. Gracias.
Okay. So what are we doing? Are we waiting to see if Alexander can crack this, or or have we decided that this may be something that you need more information to try to crack?
Well, something that Alexander could do quickly is just do a 2-letter and 3-letter distribution, where he writes down every other letter, and then he writes down like every third letter, and he sees if there's a pattern in that. If there isn't, then it's probably something he needs more information to crack.
Okay. Well, make me a... Let's go wits and research roll.
You bet. Because of my curious and queer sleeping habits, I actually get a free raise on research rolls.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a target number. Because this is such a small sample, I'm going to give you a target number 30, but I'm also giving you, target number 25, and I'm giving you a free raise.
Gotcha.
For reasons that I will explain later if you pass the roll.
Okay. So that's a free raise in addition to the one I get just because I have one from my character for research and history rolls.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, all right then. Why do I even bother having you roll anything?
Just say he succeeds.
46 is very good. Okay. So.
I have one job on this ship. It's to know things.
I lech and I know things.
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing you recognize, Alexander, is that, yeah, these are all Avalonian words, but they're using the most consonant-heavy words like your mother tongue has.
Like they're trying to write in Welsh.
And then you realize something. There is a older tongue from Avalon that is primarily consonants. And you speak that one too.
I sure do.
You realize after a moment that while the words overall are written in Avalonian, you are pretty sure after you start to pick out the consonants that are being used kind of repeatedly, that the message actually might be in Khemri. Which is weird, because that's something that, Elaine is pushing for people to learn it, but, like, almost nobody has, because it's a really difficult language to learn. Avalonian is pretty heavily, like modern Avalonian is pretty heavily influenced by Montaigne.
Yep.
Because of their occupation. So Khemri is a very different language. What you begin to put together is this was a very quick and dirty message that was probably trying to be the woman who had it was probably trying to pass it along, and given what it's written in, may have been trying to pass it along to you. What it says is basically they will try to take it from him. Run. Which doesn't really mean anything to you, but as the only person here who speaks Khemri and Avalonian, if it was meant to go to a member of your group, it would probably be you that she was trying to get it to.
Try to take it from him. Run.
I take it you have come to a conclusion?
Yes, it's in. So they used a large number of consonants in order to try and mask it. It's using Avalon words to hide the fact that it's in Khemri, which is the sort of the native tongue of Avalon prior to the arrival of the Montaignes. It's closer to Innish.
Thanks, Montaigne.
Your ability to crack these codes is truly amazing.
But it says they will try to take it from him. Run.
Seems a day for mysterious information. What is it and who is him?
I wonder, did you show this to the Lady Quiva?
Indeed we did.
I shall be interested to see. I shall be interested to see if she is still in the city.
Indeed. It was an advice to run. Perhaps she has the wisdom we lack. I wonder, Reverend Doctor, if there might be books here about various artifacts recently discovered? Somewhere in the vast libraries, perhaps?
It's possible, but most of the information... I mean, if we are looking into Sirnath artifacts, most of that information would be the property of the Explorer Society, not any particular university. However, we are getting further and further afield. Herr von Graf, if you would go and collect your manservant, we should go and see Her Grace and see what we can find out about Henri.
Yeah,
Certainly, yes.
Fell apart.
Thank you for watching Opus the Requiem. If you enjoy this story, please make sure to comment and subscribe to follow more of our content. You can also find all of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
To the most honorable Heinrich von Graf, I extend my warmest greetings and wishes for good health to you and your family. Mein Herr, I cannot imagine what must be going through your mind right now. The sequence of revelations and ever-increasing peril, to say nothing of the ever-increasing seeming ridiculousness of what is being asked of us, is, I feel confident in saying, not something you or I have encountered previously. Even as I sat down to write this, I feel some shame at having mentioned your betrothed family as if they were a piece on a chessboard. We have asked so much of you, just in the relatively minor affair of dealing with Lady Felici and the young Reins lad. It would be barbarous of us then to ask further of you in an act that is, as I'm sure you must have realized, and as I'm equally sure that Miss Felici and Mr. Hernandez have not, liable to be considered tantamount to treason should we be caught in the act. To join us in this mad endeavor risks everything you have and everything you have been promised. We ought not to ask you of such a thing, and only the hardest of hearts would consider it. And yet, I do ask you to help us. It could probably go without saying that you are easily the most physically capable among us, but it is a salient enough point that I am compelled to say it anyway. Moreover, as a man who has dedicated his life to warfare, you are likely the only one in our company who has ever considered a building as an adversary. If we are to save this lady from the peril she faces, she shall almost certainly have to overcome not only soldiers of the Musketeers and Lightning Guard, but the labyrinthine design of Montaigne architecture. Miss Felici, Miss Lucani, and I have nothing of such skills, and Mr. Hernandez, I am certain, would think it all a grand duel or melee and get himself killed trying to fight everyone and everything. You, mein Herr, are our key to victory in this endeavor. I am as certain of that as I am of the course of the stars in the sky. You have risked much and would risk all to do this. But we cannot do it without you. So I must ask you, must plead with you to join us. Regardless of the highborn nature of the lady in question, at the end of the day, she is a lady who needs our help. I am certain that were this your own daughter in danger, there would be neither stone wall nor stout blade that would even give you pause. I saw your reaction to the argument that passed between Alonso and me, so I shall not speak to you of spiritual things, but I will say this. The willingness to simply help those in true need is the sort of thing that, if cultivated, will make a world where our children never have to experience the horrors of the kind of war that have shaped your life. Now, this may all be me fussing over nothing. You are a man of strength and honor, and may have, in fact, already resolved to help us unto the conclusion of our seemingly wild endeavor. But I could not let the moment pass without acknowledging the very real dangers you face, and the very real dependency we shall have upon you for success. I pray you will understand and agree. Your humble servant, A. Hutcheson.
And I am going to give Heinrich a drama die, because I want to hear a monologue now.
Gee, I didn't know that was coming.
I've been waiting for this letter to get passed on. I'm so excited.
Okay, yeah, he reads the letter, folds it back up in a much less elaborate way, and slides it into his pouch, and thinks to himself, yes, he is correct. This is a very strange set of circumstances that I find myself in. I'm in an unfamiliar country, surrounded by people who may or may not be my enemies. We're being apparently hunted by some agents of some unknown power for a completely unknown reason. I find myself in numerous circumstances beyond my control. And while I have no real desire anymore to inflict violence upon others, it seems more and more likely that this situation will end in bloodshed. This poor girl, yes, she's extremely foolhardy, reckless, but I cannot, in good conscience, abandon her to her fate without someone more level-headed and experienced to keep her impulses in check. I fear she will promptly get herself killed. I mean, look what she just did today, playing that infernal music and causing herself to have some sort of fit. If I don't help her, I fear she will find herself dead within days at the most. And so I've resolved to continue the course until I can see her to some greater safety. This is going to be risky. There are certain things here in Montaigne that I must do in order to secure the future of my family, and I simply cannot risk that. I mean, I must go through with this marriage if it's necessary to secure my status here in Montaigne, to allow me to continue to retain my lands and title. If I do not go through with this, I will likely end up homeless and penniless and forced to eke out a living for the remainder of my days as a mercenary. I don't know what to do, but I know that it would be wrong to let this girl die.
While Heinrich is away,
Yes.
Alexander turns to Alonso. You have had a moment and you have had some wine. I believe you owe us an explanation.
I'm sorry.
The hung and assailed woman.
You know her.
Or at least know of her.
I don't necessarily think it's could be someone else. It could.
It could.
Totally unrelated.
Could be. You're going to tell us anyway, and allow us to make that determination collectively.
Viviana side-eyes Alonso.
I think she could tell that he's uncomfortable.
Senor Hernandez, I must press you upon this point.
Clearly, yes, you are pressing. And after I have been so helpful.
You have been very helpful. You are also keeping a great many secrets. This one we will press upon now. Unless there are others you wish to discuss.
I may have encountered it is not an easy thing that you ask of me. On a list of easy things, he's gonna pour himself another drink.
No one said it was easy.
When first I encountered these brigands, the Lady Lucia, she said that they had a connection to me. She did something with thread, sort of waves his hands in the air. And one of them wanted to fight me. I assumed it was because I was challenging them in the street. Not to a fight, but sort of to, leave or start something. You know this. Surely you have been in such encounters. Where you put someone to the test with words. No, you're going that way. I'm going this way. So start doing it. Are you familiar?
Yes. Viviana looks at him, like, clearly urging him to get to the point.
I do not. Fine, here. He just reaches under his collar, pulls up a small chain, and places an amulet on the table. There. That is what you want.
I shall need some context for this jewelry.
As will I.
It is the thing in the letter. I think.
The thing they will try to take.
The other letter, although perhaps that one as well.
Ah.
Yes, if this is the woman, then this is perhaps the thing, the artifact.
Viviana will go over to where Alonso has set the chain down and look down at it.
What you see is a heavy silver chain from which is hanging a rather thick silver amulet with a swirled pattern on it.
Swirled pattern.
Yep.
I believe it is this. Are you satisfied?
No. For you still have not explained how you came, why you were aware of a woman who was hung and beaten.
And I do not wish to explain. This is the...
I think perhaps given our collective problems, you can see why that answer may be unsatisfactory.
Because I failed her. Because I failed her. She was fleeing, and she asked me for help, and I could not help her. Because like those men in the street last night, I was not good enough. I tried to defend a helpless person, and I could not. I failed. When I awoke, barely alive, this was upon me, and she was hanging from the building opposite. I don't know who she was. Her name, what she looked like, I even hardly know. But she came to me for help. And I could not. I failed her. And now you know.
Alonso.
Now you know.
Alonso.
And he stands up, walks to the other side of the room.
Sander walks up behind him. This is not your fault, my boy.
I should have. She came to me for help.
Well, you did all you could.
It was not enough.
Sometimes it isn't.
It should be. I am meant to be better than this. I should be better than this.
You are also a man of reason. I know that to be true now. I've seen it.
Viviana, I think, after briefly just almost touching the chain but not quite, looking down on it with a hint of disdain, walks over to the corner where Alonso is and sets a very light hand on his shoulder.
A man of reason. That I should stop in murder. not unreasonable. I have trained. I have practiced. I should have been ready. I should be ready. And I'm not.
Alonso, I know what it's like to not be ready. I have to stand helpless or unaware even as somebody's life is snuffed out. Perhaps mere inches from you. Perhaps miles from you. I know what it's like to not be enough. I wasn't enough when my mother died, and I wasn't enough when my father followed her. I know that it seems impossible to want to have to keep trying afterwards, but at some point, you have to understand that even if there was more that you could have done, and sometimes there isn't, all you can do is look to the future and try to be more vigilant, be more helpful, more caring. Sometimes that's all you can do.
See. And in my case, faster. I will not fail again.
I think we're going to pop over to Heinrich. All right. Heinrich, you
Yes.
have arrived at home. What are you doing?
Okay. He marches into the house and looks for Gunther.
Gunther doesn't quite meet you at the door. You could tell he was trying to, but with that hobble of his, he doesn't quite move as fast as you do. He also wasn't expecting you back at this hour.
I have totally lost track of time. What time of day is it?
3, maybe 4 in the afternoon, something like that. Gunther hurries to meet you at the door. There is a smell of the polish that he uses on your boots about him. And he looks a little surprised to see you, because usually you leave early and come back late lately. Sir?
Gunther, I shall require your assistance today in your other capacity. Please fetch your blade.
Of course.
I need you to keep watch over someone. A friend of mine has fallen ill, and I fear that parties mean her harm. I have other business that I must attend to and cannot stay to keep watch on her, so I need you to guard a sick person for me to make sure that no one attempts to do her harm.
He nods. If you would just give me a short while, I will go and collect my things. And he turns and leaves. Takes about 20 minutes before he gets back. He has changed out of his typical servant's attire into like stuff that you would expect to see him in, like wear to like a training yard. The kind of a if I am gonna risk getting into a fight, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be dressed for the occasion kind of thing. stuff that's a little bit more protective. Make it harder on anybody who might have at least a rapier. It's not going to do anything to stop his Zweihander, but it might stop the tip of a rapier from like skewering him, because he's got like thick leather and stuff on. And returns with his blade.
And then Heinrich will grab a few other weapons, and then write a quick letter to Sémø. Little vague in what he's going to write, but basically just that, thank her for having him over for dinner, and he looks forward to coming by again, and that his associate Francesca would beg for the opportunity for an audience to speak with her again, and I would appreciate if she would do so at her allow her to come by at her earliest convenience.
Okay, I'm assuming you get one of the house servants to run the letter for you.
Yeah, one of the other servants will run that over.
Okay. Done and done.
And then head back to the university.
Gunther in tow. Okay. Does the other crew have anything else that they want to talk about or do before Heinrich returns?
Not at this time.
I think Alonso is just trying to take a walk around the grounds.
Okay.
Clear his head a little bit.
That's not hard. Wandering the halls, they're a little bit iffy on at the university, but if you just want to like wander like the gardens, or at least what passes for a garden here, you are welcome to do so.
Cool.
Sometime later, Heinrich and Gunther arrive. And Heinrich leads his manservant to Alexander's chambers, and I assume knocks. Yes?
Yeah, he knocks a couple of times and then enters.
And on his heels is an older man who looks like well put together, but also kind of has that like that I've seen some shit kind of grizzled look to him.
Right.
Who has a very classically Ison stoic look to his face.
Yep, and carrying a very well-used broadsword.
Yes. Well, it's probably sheathed, but yes.
Yeah. This is my employee Gunther. He will keep watch on Giulietta while we are continuing our other work.
Yeah.
Gunther gives a respectful nod. Anything else I should know of, or am I just to guard the lady?
Guard the lady. Make sure that no one enters the room and tries to do her harm. Doctor, were you going to have one of the nurses attend her as well?
Yes, I will have one of the university nurses just pop in. Basically, no one should enter this room carrying any sort of weaponry other than us.
Gunther will nod. If they want to kill her, they will have to kill me first.
And then I'm also going to leave him with my collection of firearms, which is going to be a musket and 4 pistols.
Okay.
Just in case.
Gunther comes equipped with a small arsenal. And if nobody stops him, he will grab the chair from Alexander's writing desk and drag it over to effectively put himself as between Lucia and the windows and door as he can, like to get that kind of angle, which is kind of like effectively at the foot of the bed, but at like a corner of it and facing out into the room. And he will sit with his sword across his lap.
Oh, sorry. We should probably leave a note as well, so Julieta knows where we've gone.
Yes, we say that I have written out a note that says, "We have gone out. Please obey the gentleman with you in all things. We shall return shortly."
Okay.
Because I can't remember, did she learn how to read or just speak? Now that I think about it,
she cannot read as at least as far as Alexander knows, but Gunther can.
Yep.
Okay. I'm expecting shenanigans when she wakes up, but
probably.
Oh well.
There's always shenanigans where Lucia is concerned, but that it is what it is.
Very well. Shall we then?
We shall.
Yeah, Alonso rejoins his mood somewhat settled. And before he left for his walk, he tucked the amulet back under his shirt.
Okay. You all head out, leaving Gunther to watch over the unconscious Lucia. You are headed to the Reins estate, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Excellent.
It takes it is a little bit of a walk to get there, but it's not a difficult one. And you arrive outside of the gates. There are guards as there usually are. Good afternoon, messieurs and madame. How can we help you?
Would you please inform Her Grace that Dr. Hutcheson and company are here to continue their endeavors on her behalf, but we need access to the estate for a bit.
Yes, we were told to expect you. And they step aside. One of them kind of breaks away from the others and leads you up towards the door, opens the door, and flags down a maid that is... flags down, not a maid, looks like a footman that is passing by, has a quiet conversation with him, and the man sort of looks over at the rest of you and gives a little nod, and the guard leaves you. Leaving the servant to come over. I am told you are to be given access to Master Henri's chambers.
Indeed.
You are correct.
You may follow me. He leads you through the house to a grand staircase that wraps up and into the home itself. Or into the upper floors of the home. And along the hall in this upper hall, or along the walls in this upper hallway, are a number of paintings. One of the Grande Dame herself, one of an older gentleman, or there's a couple of older gentlemen who have been portrayed that you have not met. One of the Grande Dame's elder son, who you met earlier today, Jean-Marie. Among others, there are a few women whom you have not met at various ages.
Are there like names below the portraits?
No.
Okay, so we would not know if there's one of Henri.
You'll be able to deduce it.
Heinrich will turn to the maid and says, "Is one of these portraits of young Henri?"
The footman stops and looks up and nods. Oui, monsieur. And points one of them out. This is the young lord?
Lucia's behavior makes a lot more sense now.
Question to the GM.
Yes.
Does this look like the man that I saw in my vision?
Yes.
Good to know.
The one in your vision looked a little bit more haggard. Certainly not as well put together as he is in his portrait. But same man, beyond the shadow of a doubt. And you realize standing there that he looks a lot like a younger version of his brother.
Good.
Dr. Hutcheson cannot help but be giving Viviana side-eye. He has not broached that topic yet with her.
Viviana looks satisfied as she looks at the portrait. You can't quite tell what she's satisfied about, but satisfied nonetheless.
Courtesans and pretty men. What's not to like? If no one stops him, the footman will turn and continue to lead you down the hall.
Continue to follow.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. You are led through a pair of tall French doors, or Montaigne doors, I guess they would be called. He pushes them open, and you are led into a sitting area with there's like a large, currently unlit fireplace. Beside which are, chairs for lounging, a small table probably to put a drink on or whatever. There is one bookshelf against one wall. A piano is in the room, and then there are doors leading off of this room in two separate directions. This is the sitting room. Through there is his bedchamber, and through that one is his personal study.
Thank you.
Will there be anything else that you need?
Did he spend most of his time in his chambers, or was there some other room in the house where he was found more frequently than not?
He seems to consider when he was home, he spent most of his time here.
Was he away from home often, aside from this most recent business he's been on?
Oui. As a young man, there's always so much to do.
And what did he typically do when he left home?
He went to parties, and he went to most of the social functions that were expected of him. He is an accomplished swordsman, so he frequently went and trained with his brother. He was considering joining the musketeers like his brother and mother before him. He's a busy young man.
Can I insight check this guy?
Sure. Do you have
Is
empathy?
he giving us the information or is he hiding stuff?
Well, that's not exactly how using empathy against somebody works. But you have to roll first. You have
And-
cold read.
Mm-hmm.
So give me what's in cold read. Target number 15.
22.
Okay. He seems to be truthful. You do get the feeling that it's not like this guy kept track of all of Henri's movements. So as far as he knows, he is telling you, he's telling you the truth.
Cool.
Also, and this doesn't require a roll, from what you guys know of La Grande Dame, if she told her people to help you, to like cooperate with you, no one has the balls to like disobey. Her son went missing and they were too afraid to tell her.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, I will return to my duties. There is a cord there, and he points at a what looks like just a tassel on like these heavy embroidered curtains that are up around one of the large windows. If you pull on that, someone will be here shortly. And then he sees himself out. Shuts the doors behind him.
Well, shall we search the place?
Yes, I think I shall begin in his study. In addition to just a general search of his effects and what they can tell us, given all that has occurred, I think it is worth our time to inspect the architecture for hiding places, any documents or things that appear to be out of place or nonsensical should be made note of.
Indeed.
Okay, so I know that Alexander is going for the study. What is Alonso going to do?
Alonso is going to look for places that a young guy would hide stuff he doesn't want his mom to find.
Okay, you gotta pick a room.
Bedroom.
Okay. Heinrich?
I guess I'll take the sitting room then.
Viviana.
What rooms are left?
It's mostly like they've covered the 3 rooms, but you are welcome to take a different approach than one of them, or than one or any of them are. We know like Alexander's probably gonna look for documentation, look through books, that sort of thing.
I think Viviana will probably not necessarily look for documentation, but look for things that seem to be out of place, like something something somewhere that doesn't belong. And I think she'll start in the sitting room with Heinrich.
Okay. We will start with let's start with Alonso first. Alonso, the bedroom of Henri, Rois, et Reins is a opulent affair, as is most of the house, to be clear. It's not like his room is unusually done up compared to the rest of the place. He's got this tall 4-poster bed that's got, bed curtains on it that can be pulled closed at night for warmth. And privacy. He's got like a high-backed chair that is pulled up in front of yet another rather large fireplace. He's got a number of stands lined up against one wall where you could tell like he's got a collection of weapons, mostly swords and my goodness, what's the offhanded thing?
Dagger. Dirk.
The mangosh.
Shield.
Mangosh, yes. A number of those displayed. It is very clean. You assume that if he were the type who was messy, it never stayed messy for long because they have a lot of servants who probably came in and fixed that. The whole thing is decorated in blues and golds.
Well, all right, Henri. What were you keeping in here?
Looking at your sheet, I'm gonna find stuff that would help you with this. Don't really have much for searching.
I was thinking maybe stealth, because where would I hide stuff? Or I have a change of approach that could be useful.
No, this is fine. Let's go. Yeah, let's go wits and stealth. And see what that gets you. Target number 15 will find you something, and every raise you take above that might get you more.
I've been underselling myself so far tonight, so I'm going to take 2 raises. And I'll spend the drama dice.
Okay. So it's an 18, and you need 25.
And I get it.
Which will get you there. Cool. The first thing you find is a you kind of go hunting around his like the bed and like the bedside table, and you find as you're kind of like looking around, you slide a hand back behind like the head, like the head of the bed, like between it and the wall, which is mostly covered up by those like heavy curtains, right? And as you kind of pass your hand over it, you realize that like one of the panels feels a little bit loose. And you kind of like press on it and push it side to side and kind of give it a little wiggle. And after a moment, you realize that if you can just get like the tip of your finger under like the edge closest to you, you can like lift it out slightly. And then when you do so, it pops away from the wall, revealing a small space behind it.
Very clever, my amigo.
And when you reach into that space, you pull out a portfolio, not unlike what you have seen Alexander carry, and Lucia for that.
Let's start reading.
The stuff in this portfolio is all in a language you do not understand.
Cool.
But there is a lot of it. Like, there could be like a whole ass book here.
I will look for my nearest ally. Or take it back out to the others.
Well, the nearest ally, as it turns out, is Viviana. She is in the room with you, because Viviana is also searching.
Yes?
I just hold it up.
Viviana walks over, examines it.
Viviana, this is a portfolio, and what is inside of it are letters in Vodachan.
Vodachan. She will look through the letters, scan over them, scan over the first one to check its contents.
It becomes very clear very quickly that these are love letters, and they're all from Lucia.
Aww.
Well, we do not have to concern ourselves with whether or not Henri was... The Henri Lucia was writing to was fake. These are Lucia's love letters.
Concealed quite well. Here by the headboard.
Smart.
And close to his heart. Perhaps love is not dead after all.
Perhaps.
Do you think we can smuggle them out?
Perhaps we could conceal them.
Alonso nods, and then says, also, it might be reasonable to assume that we are at least somewhat observed.
It's always reasonable to assume as much.
I think Alonso will leave the letters in her care and poke around a little more just in case. Anything else in that hidey place? Anything else obvious?
Not in that hidey place, no. There are other hidey places, which I will tell you about in a moment, but first we're going to pivot to Heinrich.
Yes.
What are you doing in the sitting room, bud?
Searching everything he can find, and he's not being particularly gentle about it.
Oh boy. Okay.
Love that.
I mean, he's not like trashing things and like cutting up the sofa cushions, but he's tossing the place.
Okay. Heinrich. I feel like this is we've used this so much more than I ever thought we would. Give me wits and perception, my guy.
Okay. Target number?
15 raises might get you more information.
I'll take one raise. I probably won't get it, but I'm prepared to
so we're aiming
spend
for
some
20.
dice on it if need be. Okay, let's spend one drama die on that. Okay, 22.
All right. As you are looking through the sitting room, your first instinct with everything that's been going on and how sneaky bookish people seem to be based on what you've picked up about the other people in your party, your first instinct is to go to the bookshelf. And there's certainly some interesting stuff on the bookshelf. You identify... Do you read and write, Montaigne?
Yes.
Yeah, you identify some books on warfare. There are some books on, like, economics, which might be of some interest to you, given your proclivities, and how you introduced yourself to your fiancé.
You guys are never going to let me forget that one.
Nope. It was the most gloriously Ison moment. I'm never going to forget it. But ultimately, you don't really find anything all that interesting on the bookcase. What you do, however, realize after a moment as you turn away from the bookcase, you realize that the piano that's in the room is one of the types where like the lid can be like propped up and open for better sound. And just kind of out of morbid curiosity, you move over and you lift it. You realize that there are a couple, some of the hammers that you could see inside that would normally like strike to make the noise. A couple of them have like a piece of paper that has been like folded and like wedged down under like the actual like part of the hammer that strikes. Unlikely to affect the sound in any noticeable way, but certainly a place that like if you're not looking for it, you're not gonna realize that this is here.
So Heinrich lifts up the lid to the piano with one hand and then reaches in and takes out any papers that are inside.
There's only like a couple, and they are all folded up very, very tightly into a very small bundle tucked in. Remind me, have you gone to the Chateau du Châtelain?
That I
you're like
have
one
not.
of the only people who has it.
I have not entered. I took Viviana there to change her clothes, and she made him wait outside.
Ah, right. Okay. One of them you realize is an invitation. It is not like an overly opulent, fancy, like rich people invitation. It is like a handwritten, clearly meant to be very vague about what it is kind of invitation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you recognize the address is the Chateau du Châtelain. And there is another piece of paper that is bundled up with it that has a completely different address on it that you do not recognize.
What part of the city is it in?
It is in kind of in like the like probably like middle class place. It looks like it's like in a general residential area.
And it's just the address written down?
Yes.
Okay, that may very well be worth paying a visit to. And he takes the papers with him and, tosses the rest of the room to see if there's anything else, which I assume there isn't.
We are going to pop over to Alexander before we get to that, before I answer that. Alexander, what are you doing in this office? It is, again, pretty opulently appointed. This guy has a desk that kind of makes you a little green with envy. He comes from a family that can afford like the best of the best, and it's clear that he was given that. He has shelves with books. There are ample, looks like personal journals that probably he's been keeping since he was a child. Yeah. This is probably the closest room. This room is probably the closest thing to "quote unquote" messy that you have found so far. It looks like a servant came in here and tried to clean up, but also didn't know what was important and didn't know what wasn't. So just sort of like neatly stacked things. But it's still just kind of piles. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, 3 modes of attack. One, we're examining the books on the shelves. 2, we're looking at the journals, trying to figure out if there's an organizational system to them, so that I could possibly find his most recent one. And then we're examining any loose papers that have been stacked on the table.
Okay. Repeat to me what the first one was.
We're examining the books on the shelves to see what topics we got here.
Okay. That is easy. There is everything. You see a number, probably 2 or 3, basically like Vidachin dictionaries and treatises on Vidachin grammar. It's not not enough that it was clear that it was like a heavy interest for him, but they are also clearly handled enough that he used them quite a bit.
Alexander broadly smiles at that, as though his heart has been lifted by this sight. Go on.
You see, again, you see like military tactics. You see some history books, especially history on various parts of Montaigne history. There's a lot here on the Musketeers. You see a book that is kind of a philosophy-ish book, and it was written by one of your contemporaries, and it's effectively like a treatise on like chivalry, and like the rules that a good noble man should hold to. It's a little highfalutin, you know what I mean? It's a little bit self-important, but it's not bad, if that makes sense.
Well, on a self-important tangent, does he have any of my books?
Yes, he does. Shouldn't be terribly surprising, given the topic of some of your books, and the fact that you were in Montaigne. He very specifically has your book making fun of the cardinal.
I squee a little.
He has a book that you didn't write, but you contributed to some of the research on, and that surprises you a little bit, and you suspect would probably get him side-eyed pretty hard, if not chastised pretty harshly, if anybody realized what it was. It's written under a pretty unassuming name, but it's effectively like a pretty in-depth and kind of scathing history of the Montaigne occupation of Avalon. But it's written under a pretty unassuming name, so anybody who doesn't know what it is probably wouldn't guess it just by looking at the book. You helped contribute to some of the research, but you were not the author of that particular.
Right. But any books I just don't recognize.
I imagine that there's a couple, but when you pull them down, they're nothing particularly special. It's like, novels and stuff like that. I will tell you, the thing that stands out to you the most that is not there, and you didn't see it when you glanced over at the bookshelf in the sitting room. There is not a single fucking book on like piano or like there's no book of sheet music, no portfolio, no nothing.
Noted.
What was the second thing you wanted to look at?
Journals. Looking at the journals to see if there's an organizational system for how they're sorted, and trying to find his most recent one.
So when you look at the shelves with the journals on them, you figure out pretty quickly that the oldest ones are kind of at the bottom, and so you go to the topmost shelf with the journals on them, and you pull out the one that you assume would be the most recent, seems the newest. And you open it and you realize very quickly that it is dated for a while ago. Like, if this is his most recent journal, he hasn't written in it in a time. He hasn't been writing for a long time.
skipping back across it, how frequently does he write?
It varies a little bit, but usually at least once a week. But there are in several of the journals that you look at, like, he writes daily. So for him to stop altogether is weird.
Yeah. And I'm presuming it stopped before the month and a half ago where he was, like, locked up.
Yes.
How long ago?
Like a year ago.
The shelf on which this journal was, is there a lot of space on it?
Like open space that doesn't have anything in it? Yeah. There's enough room for at least at least 2 or 3 more journals on that shelf.
And you say it's up high?
It's just like, so if we're looking at like floor to ceiling shelving, he's got his journals kind of at the bottom, starting at the bottom, I should say, because it's like you put the stuff that you're least likely to use like out of like down where you don't really need it. So his oldest journals are on the bottommost shelf. We're looking at probably 3 or 4, no, probably closer to 5 shelves before the journals stop and other books start.
Just a check for, as they say, a hole in the water. I'm going to look at this top shelf and the space there and see if there's a place, if there's dust on the shelf, and if so, if there's a place where that dust stops before it reaches the books. That thereby being evidence that books have been removed.
Roll me. Let's go wits and scheming.
Target number.
20.
No raises on this.
Okay. Excellent. 22. Yes. It looks like journals were probably removed, but it doesn't look like that happened recently. Like the space, it is less that there's no dust there and the dust stops, and more that there is less dust there. So they were removed, but they were removed a while ago.
He takes his replacement handkerchief, rubs one corner at like the far end of the shelf, and then one right next to where that book was. Takes that, pockets it, and then we will turn to the papers on the desk.
Okay. First, we're going to go to Viviana.
Perfect.
Yes.
What you doing?
Like I said, Viviana was sort of looking for things that seemed to be out of place, indicating some intentional hiding of certain things. Just something that looks like strange given the context of the things it's surrounded by.
Okay. Yeah, roll me wits and scheming.
Target number?
15. More raises might get you more.
I'll take 1 raise. 24.
The thing that stands out to you the most isn't like anything missing. It isn't even something that might seem incongruous to the typical person. But as you walk through, the first time you notice it is in Henri's bedchamber. There is a vase with roses on the mantle of the fireplace, which doesn't seem all that weird until you consider that they are red roses, which again isn't hugely weird, but you're a courtesan, you've been in some richly appointed places before. Red roses in a room that is decked out in blue and gold is a little weird. They clash. You would pick almost anything else. You would pick yellow roses. You'd pick white roses, something that blends well with the blue and gold. The red is kind of a very stark color. And then you remember seeing red roses in the vases in the sitting room too. So there's no variation.
Viviana will hand the portfolio of letters back to Alonso, and then you see her go up to the fireplace, where the red roses are, and she picks up the vase and she just holds them up like she's trying to see if there is any situation where these don't clash with the colors of the room, and she cannot make them work. Well, that's strange.
A failure of decor?
The color coordination is off. You don't put red roses in a room of blue and gold.
You also realize as you were holding it, there are 4 roses in the vase. It's not a full bouquet.
And the number is off too. Why just 4?
Is there something in the vase?
She looks into the vase.
No, not that you can see. It's just stems and water.
No, but this is off. She will go, still holding the vase of roses, goes to the sitting room where she noticed the other vase of roses. How many roses are in that vase?
4.
She sort of sets the vase down next to the other vase and just looks at the two of them, hands on her hips, brow furrowed. It's just off.
Is there more of anything else in the room?
Not that you can see.
Viviana will also go into the study and see if there are more red roses.
There is in fact another vase with 4 red roses. It's worth noting that these are vases, but they're not like huge vases. It's not like they've got like those big kind of pot-like vases. There's just 4 roses sitting in there. They are smaller vases, but it is weird to only see 4.
Or again.
Alexander, Viviana is standing in the doorway holding a vase with 4 red roses in it.
Holding 2 vases with 4 red roses in them.
Oh, yes.
Are you redecorating?
No, but if this wasn't intentional, someone should. Why have the blue? Why not even fill it up? It looks off.
Viviana?
Yes?
Roll me a straight wits roll.
Okay.
No target number. No target number, but the higher the roll, the better.
Okay. Can I spend drama dice on this?
Absolutely. You don't need drama dice. It's fine. You 19 well surpasses it. You are standing there, and it takes you a minute for it to click in your head. There is one place that you have seen blue and gold with red roses. You've seen it a million times, which is maybe why it didn't immediately occur to you. The Knights of the Rosencross are a known quantity in the world. Everybody knows about them. They are like celebrities. They wear tabards of blue and gold with 4 red roses.
The Knights of the Viviana blinks down at the roses, stares at the roses that she hasn't picked up yet that are in the study, and then says, "The Knights of the Rosencross?"
Okay.
Now that she says it, anybody who heard that could go, "Oh yeah."
That would explain some things.
Quite a bit, actually.
But these roses have not been here for a month and a half. They look far too fresh for that.
No. We need to know who's putting these roses in here.
And we should find out before anyone else does.
Perhaps it's time to pull that bell.
Viviana will go set the roses back where she found them.
Okay. Is anybody gonna go pull the bell?
Ding ding!
Alonso goes and pulls on the cord. About 3 to 4 minutes later, a young woman appears at the door. Yes, oui.
Hola. The florist. Do you know who they are?
They come from Madame's garden. Why?
Yes, and do you bring them?
Whoever is told to clean the rooms does. Monsieur Henri requested red roses. Tried to tell them, but they don't.
I see.
And did he instruct you as to the number and placement of the roses as well?
He told us he wanted 4 red roses in each vase, yes? I don't understand what you mean by placement.
Meaning the placement of 4 roses in each vase.
Yes. She kind of
Gracias.
You welcome. Is there anything else I can do?
Alonso considers asking for a snack, but decides to pass.
Thank you. I believe that will be all.
She will bob a curtsy and leave the room, looking a little confused as to why she was asked about flowers.
So not perhaps a member of the staff, but Henri's message in particular.
Or perhaps a message to anyone he brought up for conversation, in case he was keeping his association secret from other people in the house.
Could membership in the Knights be the point of conflict with Le Grand Dame?
So now we get to I don't remember how much is public knowledge about the Knights. Is it public
Perhaps we
knowledge?
should discuss it in private.
Yeah. Well, above the table, is it public knowledge that noble sons have to give up their inheritance to join?
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Then we will not go down that road.
Yes, I'm afraid my knowledge of these knights is very limited. Is this something that he would want to keep a secret? Are they some sort of forbidden order?
They are reckless pursuers of truth and justice, so around here?
And the Grand Master is also close personal friends with l'Empereur. But they're complicated. They are a society with secrets.
Everybody would know that the Knights of the Rosencross, yes, they do tend to at least they do tend to act in ways that would drive one to believe that they are inclined to always want to do the right thing. However, they have members who are very public and very political. And there are, there's probably members that are much more low key but still political. They tend to have a presence in basically, as far as any of you are aware, they have presences in almost every political establishment in Thea, at least all the big ones.
How much do I know about my organization's relationship with the Knights of Rosencross?
You know that it's not good. You know that your organization at one point made very active attempts to murder members of the Knights of the Rosencross because they thought that the Knights of the Rosencross were getting too close to knowing too much about them, or stumbling onto their secret. The daughters have a vested interest in no one knowing about them, and they have managed to do that for a very long time, partially because they have things. They have, they have things that make murder very easy, especially when the person being murdered is a man. It is less that the daughters don't dislike the knights, and more that the knights are potentially a very real threat to the daughters. If they ever found out about the daughters. So the daughters take active measures to make sure that they don't.
Well, I also I found some interesting papers hidden within the piano, and Heinrich pulls out the two sheets of paper that he found. First of all, I found this invitation to an address of which I believe several of us have some familiarity, and he hands the invitation to Viviana. And then I also found this as well, which is a second address that I do not know.
Interesting. You recovered something of perhaps less strategic value, but I'm sure Lucia will be happy to see them.
Yes, he kept all of her letters.
I too found evidence to support our Sleeping Beauty's claims. He has a rather decent collection of materials for the study and practice of the Vodachan language.
It's frankly quite heartwarming.
Yes,
Romance
I'm sure.
In the last place you expected.
I'm sure she'll be ecstatic when she wakes up and to have some confirmation that the boy still is in love with her.
Indeed. To that effect, we should probably present it to her slowly and in a way that ensures she does not fly from the scene and continue her pursuit in person.
Bold of you to presume that such an approach exists in mortal cognition, but
this is fair. A high floor with Senor standing in front of the door, perhaps.
I just had a handful of papers to look at on his desk very quickly. But it is also worth noting, at least one of his personal journals has been taken. Possibly more.
The most recent?
He was a very diligent writer. Usually going no more than a week writing for years and years and years. And there is a gap at the end. Basically, anything from a year ago, starting a year ago, is gone.
No doubt destroyed to hide whatever action his mother found so distasteful.
Possibly. Though the roses make me wonder.
You said their leader was someone close to Lemper. Do you know this person?
Not personally, but he's one of the most famous men in the world.
Perhaps the boy was trying to join these knights.
Perhaps.
Aristide Bavot.
Yes. Sir Aristide Bavot. He lives in Charut.
Truly. Perhaps we should add another address to our to our intended plans. I don't know if that's actually an option.
The knights are incredibly closed-mouthed about their numbers, their practices. I do not know that they would cooperate with us. But... Certainly, I don't know if he is not a member, then they have nothing to tell us. And if he is, I don't see why they would cooperate with the known agents of the mother who threw him in prison.
Her dislike of us might work in that favor, but we shall see.
We are running low on time, so I'm going to do a quick roundup of the other things that people have found.
Cool.
Alonso. This is... you find one more thing in Henri's room. When you are examining the fireplace, you find that one of the pieces of marble is actually much thinner than you thought it was, and when you go to like slide it to the side out from where it is settled between other pieces of marble, there is a tiny little pocket behind it that looks like it probably was never intended, like that piece was never intended to be taken off, but he may have like basically wedged free a piece of the stone. And inside of a hollow is a ring, like a signet ring.
Is there a symbol on it?
There is. The symbol is actually one that you have seen before. It is the house crest of the Sisei du Sisei family.
Huh. Well, that's coming with us.
Alexander, the papers on the desk. What were you looking for exactly? Or tell me how you're trying to parse what's in this so that I can tell you what kind of information you get is probably a better question.
So in an initial scan, we'll sort it into like personal correspondence, and then basically personal correspondence, and then anything else possibly sorted by topic if I can find a pattern.
It's kind of a jumble. It's clear that like multiple servants have come through here and handled them, because nothing seems to be in any sort of order or whatever. There's a lot of personal correspondence. Some of it is letters that just seem really kind of dry and boring. You see some correspondence between Henri and his brother, specifically about the potentiality of him becoming a musketeer. And you notice that the way that he writes it, he is, you know enough about how people express themselves and maneuver in iffy situations politically,
Right.
where he is trying to leave room for his brother to think that there is a good chance he will do it without ever actually committing to it. And a number of those really boring letters all seem to be going to the same person, a man named Charles. Considering how boring these letters are, it's weird that there's so many of them.
Yeah, boring. And my antenna are up for this. This being having come across 2 codes today. I'm going to collect the Charles letters.
Okay. You were able to do so.
And I will sort and evaluate them probably later.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything while you're here?
Not for Viviana.
I'm just going to glance through his wardrobe, because if he was doing clandestine meetings somewhere else in the city, he'd need an outfit to go unnoticed there.
Roll me another, wits and stealth. Give me wits and stealth.
Difficulty?
Let's say 20.
All right.
Just short.
Dang.
Would you like to spend a drop die?
Honestly, with what we have, I don't think it's worth it.
Okay, that's fine. You find nothing in particular that stands out to you. Anybody else?
Nope. I can't think of anything else to do.
Okay. You are all... is anybody taking anything with them? Obviously the Charles letters.
Yep.
The addresses and the invitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I brought my portfolio, so we can put them in there.
Okay. Are y'all taking the letters from Lucia?
Yes.
Okay. There are a lot of those. They will not fit into Alexander's portfolio. They're going to have to stay in the portfolio that they are in. Like I said, there is enough there that it is damn near a small book. Maybe not even a small book, just a book. So if you want to get those out without anybody noticing, you're going to have to take steps.
Perhaps you just take 1 or 2.
Yeah. I was going to suggest we just take the most recent ones.
Okay.
And put them back where they were.
Yes.
I think eventually we will need to show Her Grace their hiding place and provenance.
Yes, that is likely true.
Okay. You slip those couple of letters into Alexander's portfolio with the other stuff. You tuck those back into their hiding place. Is the ring going with you, Alonso?
Yeah.
Okay. You hide the. I have a question for Heinrich.
Yes.
Have you returned the sitting room to its proper state, or are you just gonna leave it the mess that you made it?
Pretty much just leaving it in the mess. I mean, that's what servants are for.
Okay, cool. Cool. I will make a note. And you all ring the pull the cord again. A servant comes and sees you to the door and bids you adieu. And that is where we're gonna stop for the evening.